Hello, everyone, and welcome. English grammar can sometimes feel a little bit tricky, can it? But don't you worry. Today, we're going to make things much simpler. We're going to break down two very important topics, determiners and gerunds, and you'll see exactly how they connect to make your English sound so much better. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about why nouns need a little introduction. Then, we'll figure out how to choose the perfect word for that introduction. After that, we'll look at some sneaky verbs that actually pretend to be nouns. Then comes the really important part, the one big rule that ties it all together. And to finish, of course, a little challenge for you. So, let's get started, shall we? Okay, so let's kick things off with a pretty simple idea. In English, nouns, words like dog or house, they almost never show up all by themselves in a sentence. They usually need a small word to come before them just to give us some context and make the meaning really clear. Just look at this. On the left, we have the nouns all alone. Dog, house, people. Feels a bit incomplete, right? But now look at the right side. They have a little friend introducing them. A dog, my house, those people. See? These little introducing words, well, they're called determiners. And their only job is to give the nouns some specific context. So here's the main takeaway, the most important thing to remember. A determiner is a word that always comes right before a noun. That's its spot. Its job is to introduce the noun or just tell us a little more about it. This position, right before the noun, that is the number one rule about them. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, so what are these determiner words? Well, the good news is you're already using them all the time, every single day, probably without even thinking about it. Let's take a look at the main types. Here are the usual suspects. We've got articles, like a book or the sun. Then there are possessives, which show who owns something, like my pen or your idea. We also have demonstratives, which kind of point to things, like this chair right here or that one over there. And finally, quantifiers, which tell us about the amount, like some water or many people. Let's just quickly focus on the difference between a and the, because this one is super important. It's all about how specific you are. If I say, a dog is barking, it could be any dog in the world. But if I say, the dog is barking again, now we're talking about a specific dog, one that maybe you and I have talked about before. Using the makes your meaning definite and crystal clear. All right, so we've got a handle on how determiners introduce nouns. Now let's switch gears a little and look at a very special kind of word. It's a word that looks like a verb, but it actually behaves like a noun. And this is how it's all connected. You see, it's all about nouns. This special word is called a gerund. So what is a gerund? It's really simple. You just take a verb, add ing to the end, and then use it as a noun. That's it. For example, in the sentence, swimming is good for you, the word swimming isn't an action. It's the name of an activity. It's the subject of the sentence, so it's acting just like a noun. Let's put these side by side so it becomes perfectly clear. On the left, drinking water is healthy. Here, drinking is the name of the activity, the concept, so it's a gerund. But on the right, I am drinking water. Now drinking is the action that I am doing right now. It's a verb. See the difference? It's all about the job the word is doing in the sentence. Okay, so we've talked about determiners with nouns, and we've talked about gerunds acting like nouns. Now it's time to connect everything with one simple but very powerful rule. This rule is all about what you have to do after words like at, in, of, or about, all those little words we call prepositions. And here it is, the golden rule. If you have a verb that comes right after a preposition, that verb must be in its ing form. It has to be a gerund. Seriously, there are no exceptions to this. If you can master this one little rule, your English will instantly sound so much more natural and correct. For instance, we say, I'm good at making brownies. We can't say, I'm good at make. No way. It just sounds wrong, right? That's because at is a preposition, so the verb that follows must be making, the gerund. Here's another one, just to drive the point home. You would say, I'm interested in booking an English course. The preposition is in, so the verb has to be booking. It's a simple rule, and it's so consistent. And you know what? This rule works even for longer prepositional phrases, like in spite of. For example, I went to work in spite of feeling sick. The word after in spite of is the gerund feeling. It really is that simple. from for to without to about. If there's a verb right after it, just add that ing. Fantastic! You've come a long way. We've learned about determiners, gerunds, and that golden rule that connects them all with prepositions. So now, after a very quick summary, I've got a little challenge for you to test your knowledge. So let's do a super quick recap. First, determiners like a, my, or this, they always come before a noun to give it some context. Second, gerunds are those ing verbs like running or eating that we use as nouns. And third, our golden rule. Always, always use a gerund after a preposition. All right, now it is your turn. Have a look at the sentence on the screen. Given the popularity of the sport, blank, majority of the students opted to participate in a badminton championship. Which determiner do you think fits in that blank? Think about it. Are we talking about just any majority or a specific one? Go on, leave your answer in the comments below. I'll be down there checking them out. And that's a wrap for today. I really hope this explainer has made determiners and gerunds a lot clearer for you. If you found this helpful, please do me a favor and hit that like button, share it with anyone else who is learning English, and of course, please subscribe for more simple explainers like this one. Thank you so much for watching.